They'll play the victim, tell you sob stories, complain about their family, their exes. They become a damsel in distress, a martyr, a misunderstood Samaritan, anything to get you to give them a chance, to lower your guard, to let them in. And most people are not aware. They do fall for the gaps because narcissists are masters of manipulation, mirroring, reflecting your ideals, your interests, your hopes. They convince you they're your soulmate, the one. So you open up, you let them in. You shower them with love, gifts, praise. You invite them into your home and into your life. You think you found someone truly special, so you're willing to give it all because you don't want to lose them. And the narcissist plays on that. They get you to invest, but they don't give back. They feed you lies and future bacon, promising it'll all get better someday. But that day never comes. And once you stop believing, they start tearing you down. The devaluation begins. They criticize, they insult, they belittle. They keep you chasing their approval, running on a hamster wheel that never ends. They drain you mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, until there's nothing left. And then they blame you. They call you unstable, selfish, ungrateful. They play the victim again, just like before. And then they move on. They take that same false self, the one they used to hook you, and now it's upgraded. They've taken your best qualities, your words, your style, your kindness, and added them to the mask. Now they'll use it to lure in someone else. That's what makes this cycle so destructive. Because real, honest, hard-working, compassionate people are being sacrificed to feed a monster, a false self that only exists to deceive again and again. But many victims begin to catch on, often towards the end of the relationship. After months, sometimes years, of being manipulated, deceived, exploited, triangulated, smeared, they begin to wake up. The fog starts to lift. The fear, obligation, and guilt start to fade. They look back and see how much they gave. their time, energy, money, resources, effort, love. They gave it all and got nothing back. That tells them something is very, very wrong. They were brainwashed to thinking that they didn't do enough, but they gave everything. Loyalty, devotion, sacrifice. And in the end, they were left with nothing. What triggers the awakening? Usually, the narcissist pushes too far. They get comfortable. Their mask slips. Their demands become extreme. The victim is left with a poor quality of life, neglected, starved of basic necessities, empty inside. And that's what finally wakes them up. Because by then, they're dying on the inside, with no signs of change. The narcissist wants to keep you in the cycle, feeding them, fueling their illusion. So when they realize you see through them, some may not panic right away. They might try love bombing again, act sweet, kind, gentle. But if that doesn't work, if you still don't come back, they know they lost you. And now they escalate. The smear campaign begins. They discredit you, spread rumors, isolate you, target your finances. Because now it's war. You against them. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. For one-on-one coaching, check the link in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, donations are welcome.
You know, there's something deeply underestimated in human nature, and it's this. The quiet, compassionate individual, the empath, is not weak. In fact, the empath represents something fundamentally necessary for the stability of interpersonal relationships. Emotional balance, empathy, and moral responsibility. The narcissist's fatal miscalculation begins with their distorted perception of emotional dynamics. From the very start, the narcissist views the empath's kindness, understanding, and patience not as strength, but as vulnerability to exploit. They interpret emotional availability as a weakness, a flaw to manipulate. To the narcissist, empathy is a resource to drain, not a human trait to value. Their entire framework of human interaction is based on
Alien
dominance,
cookies.
control, and emotional extraction. This misjudgment is not accidental. It's woven into their psychology. They believe the empath's compassion is endless and their boundaries are non-existent. The narcissist operates on the assumption that because the empath forgives once, they will forgive forever. Because the empath stays through one cycle of abuse, they will stay through every cycle thereafter.
I had an early
The
sleep.
narcissist
I went
thrives
walking
on
again.
patterns. Their entire strategy revolves
no.
around repetition. Idealize, devalue, discard, hoover, and repeat. With every repeated cycle, they grow bolder, more arrogant, and more entitled. Each time the empath chooses to see the good in them, the narcissist takes it as evidence of control. Each tear the empath sheds is seen as proof of emotional dominance. Every time the empath questions themselves, instead of questioning the narcissist feels victorious. This is the fundamental flaw in their calculation. What they fail to recognize is that empathy doesn't mean blindness, it doesn't mean ignorance, and it certainly doesn't mean infinite tolerance. Over time, as the narcissist continues their manipulative game, something starts to happen within the empath. Slowly but surely, emotional exhaustion sets in. The empath begins to notice patterns they once rationalized away. The lies that were once dismissed as misunderstandings now appear as deliberate betrayal. The passive-aggressive comments, the silent treatments, the gaslighting, all become glaring red flags that are impossible to ignore. The narcissist believes they've tightened their control, but in reality, they're exposing themselves. Each manipulation becomes another piece of evidence that the empath files away in their mental archive. The empath may not respond outwardly, but internally, the cognitive dissonance starts to crack.
Tag really
The
fucking
narcissist's
sharp.
arrogance prevents them
all the
from
way.
noticing the shift. They mistake the empath's silence for submission. They misread the emotional withdrawal as fear. They double down on their abusive tactics, thinking that more pressure will secure more control. But what they're actually doing is feeding a psychological fire within the empath. With each incident, the empath's emotional resilience strengthens. The survival instinct that lay dormant under layers of compassion begins to awaken. The empath starts seeing the narcissist's behavior not as isolated mistakes, but as a consistent pattern of toxic abuse. This is where the narcissist's fatal miscalculation becomes irreversible. They have pushed the empath past emotional tolerance into survival mode. The empath stops making excuses. They stop rationalizing bad behavior. They start gathering emotional distance, observing the narcissist not from a place of love or hope, but from a place of objective clarity. The empath stops engaging in pointless arguments. They disengage from emotional baiting. Their energy shifts from trying to fix the relationship to strategizing their emotional escape. The narcissist, still blind in their delusion of control, mistakes this withdrawal for emotional defeat. They think the empath is finally broken. They believe they've won. But what they're really seeing is the empath's preparation for detachment. The empath is building psychological walls, brick by brick. And those walls will soon become impenetrable. This is the turning point the narcissist never sees coming. Because they never imagined that the person they saw as their emotional captive could become their greatest source of accountability. What the narcissist fails to grasp is that empathy, when tested and betrayed repeatedly, evolves. It stops seeking connection and starts demanding self-respect. It stops tolerating manipulation and starts enforcing boundaries. And by the time the narcissist realizes the shift, it's already too late. The empath they thought they controlled is no longer emotionally available, no longer reactive, no longer willing to play the role of the victim. The accumulation of emotional injustice within an empath does not happen overnight. It is a slow, almost imperceptible buildup that takes place over weeks, months, and often years. Each instance of manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional neglect becomes another layer in the growing foundation of suppressed hurt and unresolved anger. The empath by nature seeks to understand, to heal, and to maintain harmony within relationships. So generally, the empath by nature seeks to understand, to heal, and to maintain harmony within relationships. This inclination makes them prone to absorbing pain instead of expressing it, rationalizing abusive behavior, and internalizing blame that doesn't belong to them. Every time they forgive without receiving accountability, every time they offer compassion in response to cruelty, a small emotional debt is added to their internal ledger. The narcissist, incapable of true empathy or emotional accountability, continuously takes advantage of this dynamic. They exploit the empath's willingness to see the good in people, twisting reality to suit their narrative. With each silent injustice the empath endures, the narcissist's sense of entitlement grows. They push boundaries further, test limits more aggressively, and cross lines they once wouldn't dare approach. The empath, trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment, keeps adjusting their emotional thresholds, believing that understanding and love will eventually inspire change in the narcissist. But human tolerance has limits. Even the most forgiving heart can only absorb so much pain before it starts to crack. The empath begins to experience emotional fatigue, a deep exhaustion that cannot be shaken with rest or reassurance. Their body starts reacting to the stress long before their mind catches up. Sleepless nights, anxiety, mood swings, and moments of unexplained sadness become frequent companions. The emotional injustice starts manifesting in physical ways, signaling that the empath's psyche is nearing capacity. At the same time, cognitive dissonance grows stronger. The empath is torn between their belief in the narcissist's potential to change and the undeniable evidence of consistent abuse. This inner conflict creates mental fog, a state where the empath questions their reality, doubts their perceptions, and starts to feel as though they're losing their sense of self. The narcissist thrives in this confusion, using it as a tool to deepen their control.
What the fuck?
They gaslight the empath, making them believe that their emotional responses are exaggerated, that their feelings are invalid, that their memories are distorted. But even under this fog,
I told the doctor I had 11 left on Friday. So what the fuck's going on? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today Sunday? Sunday. Oh shit. I must have started that Friday before. Yeah. So I picked them up and I went one that day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What the fuck, man? Shout out to the bush.
the truth remains alive deep within the empath. Each act of emotional betrayal, though often unspoken and unaddressed, is recorded and stored in their subconscious. The accumulation of these experiences doesn't disappear.
1/3.
It waits.
2/3 reduction.
Yeah, strength and silence.
2/3 of a tape.
The empath's nervous system becomes
like a week.
hyper-aware.
Well,
their
in like
intuition
4 days,
sharper.
actually.
Their emotional
Anyway.
boundaries, though still permeable,
He really gives a
begin
shit.
to thicken
A couple people
unconsciously.
might a little
The
bit.
empath
but
starts noticing
Shout
patterns
out
they
to yous that
previously
do.
ignored. The sudden mood shifts of the narcissist,
Fuck y'all that
the
don't.
calculated withdrawal of affection, the passive-aggressive comments, the public charm contrasted with private cruelty. The mask that the narcissist wears starts to slip more often. Small inconsistencies
Yeah,
appear.
they shut the fuck up.
Promises are broken
Don't
with
they?
increasing regularity.
Because they know.
Lies become more
Yeah.
transparent.
Very interesting.
The
I've learned
empath
so much
begins to
shit, man.
track these things,
Crazy.
maybe not on paper, but certainly in their mind. They recall the apologies that were never genuine, the gestures that were transactional, the moments They felt invisible.
Like going out there just clears it all. But coming back does kind of bring it back. But I don't know, you gotta do your thing like every day, man. You gotta do your thing every day. Can't sleep. Praying helps. Lots. Praying helps. Yeah.
Despite being present. This emotional stockpile turns into a silent force.
Oh.
The empath may still smile, still show
I've got this fucking, what do they call that? AVB bowl thing? Just like lamb and chips, man. And I ate the whole fucking thing. There's no way that I would have normally been able to do that. Be whatever, anorexic or whatever the fuck it is. And yeah. I'm fucking hungry. I'm down there. It was like $28, man. But that's all I bought. Like, I didn't buy a drink, I didn't buy any other shit. I just bought the fucking thing. I came back and I fucking ate it. And I went to bed at like, I don't know what it was. Freaking early, but I only need like 5 hours sleep, man. So I could literally start walking like right now if I wanted to. If I really wanted to. My back's a bit sore, but I could probably do it. Like, yeah, it's sort of like a forced march kind of a thing. So, yeah, and I like to go for a long time, which is just stupid, because you only really need like a certain amount of exercise per day. But I'm like, no, let's just completely fucking drill ourselves, like, so that by the time we get to the battle, we can't even really barely move. I don't know, it's fun.
Here,
So I came home last night, I was totally fucked, right? Yeah, actually I probably didn't explain that. But anyway, I did more shit. Had to. It's like, what do parents do? What do parents do that have kids that have worked the whole day? Do they just sit there and do nothing? No, you've still got like 5 hours to go with the kid. And it's like pretty much the hardest part of the day. Because then you got to deal with the kid, most probably the wife, when you're completely cooked. Like, only legends can do that. Anywho.
Offer support on the surface, but inside a slow emotional detachment is forming. Love turns into caution. Compassion turns
Each
into
to their own, I suppose,
observation. The empath begins to watch the narcissist not with longing for connection, but with growing emotional distance. The energy shifts from emotional investment to emotional self-preservation. The narcissist, blinded by their own self-importance, fails to notice these subtle changes. They assume that because the empath isn't openly fighting back, they're still under control. They mistake stillness for surrender. What they don't realize is that the empath is calculating, storing, and emotionally preparing for a point of no return. The accumulation of emotional injustice has reached a critical mass, and it's only a matter of time before the internal pressure demands release. The empath's resilience, once used to sustain the relationship, now starts redirecting towards survival and escape. Emotional clarity begins to pierce through the fog. The empath recalls every broken promise, every manipulative game, every moment of invalidation with new understanding. The emotional ledger they've carried,
this one's pretty good too,
filled with every act of injustice, transforms into evidence
all the way
of why staying silent is no longer an option. The empath recalls every moment of invalidation with new understanding.
Perfect.
The empath recalls every broken promise, every manipulative game, every manipulative game. The empath recalls every broken promise. They stay silent is a lie. They see the real safety. They see the real The breaking point for an empath is not a single dramatic event. It is the cumulative result of countless small betrayals, emotional manipulations, and psychological wounds that have built up over time. The empath, who once made excuses for the narcissist's behavior,
Really
now
smoky.
begins to see every red flag with painful clarity. What once felt like isolated incidents of misunderstanding now feel like intentional attacks on their self-worth. The mind, body, and spirit can only take so much before a shift occurs that cannot be undone. This shift is not planned. It doesn't come with a warning. It arrives suddenly, often triggered by something small and seemingly
Let's go.
insignificant.
Pack
But
up the
it's
tent, motherfuckers. Pack it up. Pack the tent up. Fucking get up. We're going. Go. 10, hut. Get to sleep at 6 a.m. if you're lucky. Maybe. Sleepwalking. Seriously, I could be a boot camp trainer. I'd kick their ass. I'd like kick their ass and I'd be like, how the fuck is this dude doing this shit? What the fuck's he? He's like 40 something, isn't he? Look at him, he's almost fucking dead, bro. Like, how can we not keep up with this cunt? I'd create like the new Easy Company, fucking 101st Airborne, but like for like Australia. Like a private army that like actually takes Australia back from the motherfuckers. Nah. I'm just a loner. I'm just a loner. I'm just a stoner loner. I was tripped out that chick came to my spot. I'm like, how the fuck she must be pretty fit, rare. Sort of, you know, like, maybe that's what's gonna have to happen. Don't care, dude. I don't literally care. It'd be good add-on. But I shouldn't care. Because it would probably fuck me if I think that way. I've already watched so much shit on that shit too.
Impact is seismic. In the moments leading up to this breaking point, the empath experiences a strange mixture of numbness and hyper-awareness. The familiar emotional patterns that used to cause tears.
I just want to see what we said to you. Did I pause that? No, I fucking muted it. Oh, too bad we're going out. We're already out. 3:33. How about that? What in the fuck? And it's 4 degrees. Yeah. That would be interesting. I got really wet yesterday. A bit cold. Sucks. Sweat, you know? Just sweat, man. We gotta deal with it. YouTube or something?
The manipulative words that once sent them into self-doubt now sound hollow and predictable.
I saw 3
The
there.
narcissist's tactics no longer trigger the same emotional response. There is no more confusion about the narcissist's intentions. There is only a quiet, undeniable realization that enough is enough. The survival instinct, which had been dormant beneath layers of compassion and hope, suddenly awakens with force. It is raw, primal, and unstoppable. The empath's focus shifts from saving the relationship to saving themselves. The psychological bond that kept them emotionally entangled with the narcissist starts to dissolve. The fear of being alone is replaced by the fear of staying in a toxic environment. The knowledge that death, the anxiety about losing the narcissist's approval, is replaced by the urgent need to reclaim personal peace and mental clarity. At this stage, the empath's entire nervous system begins to reject the narcissist's presence. Conversations that used to end in pleading now end in silence or direct confrontation. The empath no longer engages in the circular arguments designed to confuse and exhaust them. So I desire to confuse and exhaust them. They stop offering emotional explanations, recognizing that the narcissist never truly listened. They stop giving second chances because every second chance was met with more manipulation. The empath's tolerance for lies, blame shifting, and emotional neglect completely evaporates. Physically, the empath might feel drained, but mentally they are sharper than ever. They begin to piece together the entire timeline of abuse. They recall specific incidents, replay conversations, and connect behavioral dots that were previously blurred by hope and emotional investment. This mental clarity fuels their resolve. The empath who once questioned their own reality now trusts their instincts without hesitation. They begin to anticipate the narcissist's moves, recognizing each tactic before it's even fully played out. The narcissist senses the change, but misunderstands its meaning. Accustomed to control, they believe they can reel the empath back in with false apologies, temporary affection, or exaggerated promises of change. They might increase love bombing efforts or intensify guilt-tripping behaviors. But the empath no longer falls for these traps. The emotional hooks that once dug deep no longer find a place to land. The empath has emotionally detached to a point where the narcissist's words carry no weight. Their manipulation no longer has power, and their presence feels more suffocating than ever before. The empath's internal dialogue changes dramatically. Where there was once confusion and self-blame, there is now determination and self-preservation. They begin to make plans, sometimes quietly, sometimes openly, to remove themselves from the narcissist's reach. They may seek emotional support from trusted friends, start therapy, or research narcissistic abuse recovery. Whatever steps they take, they are guided by an unshakable inner voice telling them that survival depends on distance from the narcissist. The narcissist, used to seeing the empath as an emotional force, begins to panic as their usual tactics fail. They may escalate their manipulations, trying to provoke a reaction. They may resort to anger, threats, or playing the victim in a last-ditch effort to regain control. But none of it works. The empath is no longer emotionally available for their games. The emotional door has closed. And the empath, once trapped in a cycle of hope and despair, is now driven by self-respect and the instinct to protect their well-being. This is the moment where the power dynamic flips completely. The empath, having reached their breaking point, becomes immune to the narcissist's influence. The emotional chain once kept them tethered dissolve. The survival instinct becomes their guide, replacing fear with clarity, hesitation with action, and vulnerability with newfound strength. The shift from peacekeeper to boundary enforcer is one of the most profound psychological transformations an empath can experience. For so long, the empath has occupied the role of emotional caretaker, constantly working to maintain harmony in a relationship built on imbalance and manipulation. They have absorbed blame that wasn't theirs, softened conflicts that should have been confronted, and sacrificed their own needs in a desperate attempt to preserve connection. The empath's identity has become entangled with the idea that their worth is tied to how much pain they can tolerate and how many emotional fires they can extinguish. Something fundamental begins to change when the breaking point has been reached.
That's how you get your stuff.
The empath,
who
once walked on eggshells to avoid conflict, begins to recognize the emotional cost of that silence. The realization hits with undeniable force. Preserving peace at the expense of personal dignity is not peace at all. The empath starts questioning everything they once believed about love, loyalty, and emotional responsibility. They begin to see how their role as a peacekeeper has enabled the narcissist's toxic behavior. Every time they stayed silent during a manipulation, every time they accepted an insincere apology, every time they minimized their own hurt to avoid upsetting the narcissist, they were reinforcing the cycle of abuse. This new awareness is a surge of anger, not just toward the narcissist, but also toward themselves for allowing it to continue for so long. The empath begins to realize that compassion without boundaries isn't compassion. It's self-betrayal. The shift is not loud at first. It starts with small acts of defiance that might go unnoticed by outsiders but feel monumental to the empath. Saying no without apology, walking away from a conversation designed to provoke, refusing to engage in arguments that go in circles. These moments mark the beginning of the empath stepping into the role of boundary enforcer. The narcissist senses this change almost immediately. Our mindset notices that this is not a situation that intends a accustomed to the empath's predictable responses of appeasement and emotional labor. They become confused and threatened by the sudden emotional distance and refusal to play along. They may increase their manipulation tactics, cycling rapidly between love.
I need drink one. I don't know. Just that one.
Bombing, guilt tripping, and outright aggression in an attempt to destabilize the empath and pull them back into the familiar dynamic. But the empath's internal landscape has shifted. The emotional triggers that once worked with surgical precision now miss their target. The empath starts implementing boundaries in ways that are no longer negotiable. They stop explaining themselves endlessly. They stop overgiving. They stop making space for the narcissist's emotional tantrums. What once would have sent them spiraling into guilt now leaves them with a quiet, grounded sense of resolve. They begin to see the narcissist's behavior for what it truly is, a desperate attempt to maintain control over someone who is slipping away emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This boundary enforcement is not without inner turmoil. The empath still wrestles with moments of doubt, questioning if they're being too...
I'm starting now. I'm not really thinking about other shit. Thinking about it out there. But yeah, if I think I found the buck. I just can't see him. He's like not chilling where he's supposed to be. Like since I took that photo, like it's kind of weird, man. In a way, that's the one thing. I'm like every night I'm like, where the fuck is the cunt? And then like I'm like somewhere else, just absolutely fucking miles away. And like I hear this like, and I'm like, oh no shit, is that the buck? And fucking, I'm pretty sure it was. So I'm not actually tracking the whole family. Just like a family of kangaroos, mate. Just this one family of like maybe 6 or 7 roos or something. It's not many actually. It's actually not many. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty clever. I think it might be like 5 or 6 plus the buck. Actually, he was with one, so yeah, maybe 7. I don't know, something like that. In that whole fucking thing. The whole fucking thing. Maybe at the moment, like a while ago, there was like a massive gathering. So maybe that's what happens, like every now and then there's a massive gathering, and then they all fuck off, and then it's just that family has that whole thing, man. Like it's just trippy. Anyway.
Harsh or unkind. But each time they uphold a boundary, they feel stronger, more centered, and more aligned with their true self.
I've got to say,
they begin to realize that saying no to a...
It's older. It's just older. Like, there's no way that we fucking did that. It's all right.
Abuse is not cruelty, it's self-respect. They stop feeling responsible for managing the narcissist's emotional reactions and start prioritizing their own emotional health. The empath, once driven by the need to keep the peace at any cost, now understands that real peace only comes when both parties are accountable for their actions. The narcissist's attempts to regain control become increasingly ineffective. The emotional hooks that once pulled the empath back into cycles of guilt and self-doubt no longer hold. The empath stops responding to provocations. They disengage from manipulative conversations. They create physical and emotional distance when necessary. They start making decisions that prioritize their well-being without feeling the need to seek the narcissist's approval. This new way of existing feels both foreign and liberating. The empath is reclaiming their personal power in real time. The internal dialogue of the empath shifts dramatically. They no longer ask themselves, how can I fix this? But instead ask, how can I protect myself from this? They no longer measure their worth by how much emotional damage they can absorb, but by how effectively they can uphold their own boundaries. They become less reactive, more intentional, and less emotionally available for manipulation. The narcissist's frustration grows as they realize the old methods of control no longer yield the same results. The empath's transformation is visible in their tone of voice, their body language, and their decision making. This phase marks the beginning of a permanent change in the relationship dynamic. The empath is no longer the emotional sponge, absorbing toxicity and turning it into love. They are now the gatekeeper of their emotional space, deciding who gets access and under what conditions. Each boundary enforced becomes another step away from the narcissist's influence and another step toward emotional freedom. So, this the myth of emotional breakdown is that somehow the narcissist is the one that makes us feel. The narcissist's collapse begins as a slow unraveling, almost imperceptible at first, but inevitable once the empath shifts into boundary enforcement and emotional detachment. The narcissist, who has spent months or even years crafting an illusion of control, starts to realize that their usual methods of manipulation no longer produce the desired effect. The compliments that once pulled the empath back no longer land. The guilt trips that once triggered instant apologies now fall flat. The narcissist, deeply reliant on the empath's emotional reactions to fuel their sense of superiority, begins to panic in ways they struggle to conceal. The loss of control over the empath becomes a direct threat to the narcissist's fragile ego. Their entire identity has been built on the ability to dominate emotionally vulnerable people, to control narratives, to dictate the terms of emotional connection. Watching the empath withdraw, set boundaries, and refuse to engage in toxic cycles triggers deep internal fear within the narcissist. Fear of exposure, fear of abandonment, fear of losing the very source of validation they have depended on to sustain their inflated self-image. The narcissist's internal dialogue starts shifting from arrogant confidence to growing paranoia. They begin overanalyzing every interaction with the empath, trying to figure out where their grip began to loosen. They may attempt to double their efforts, cycling rapidly between love bombing, gaslighting, and playing the victim. But with each failed attempt to provoke or control the empath, their desperation becomes more apparent. The empath's unresponsiveness serves as a mirror, reflecting back to the narcissist the very emptiness and emotional dysfunction they've worked so hard to hide from themselves. This emotional unraveling begins to manifest outwardly. The narcissist may lash out with sudden bursts of anger, making scenes that appear disproportionate to the situation. They might isolate themselves, retreating into periods of sulking and silent treatment, hoping the empath will come crawling back in an attempt to restore peace. But the empath, now operating from a place of emotional clarity, does not respond the way the narcissist expects. Their silence is no longer submission, it's disengagement. Their silence is no longer submission, it's their calm demeanor is no longer fear-based compliance, it's emotional detachment. As the narcissist's usual tools lose their effect, their behavior grows increasingly erratic. They may resort to smear campaigns, spreading lies about the empath to mutual friends, family members, or colleagues. They attempt to paint themselves as the victim in the situation, desperately trying to regain control of the social narrative. But even this tactic starts to backfire as others begin noticing the inconsistencies in the narcissist's stories and the quiet strength in the empath's demeanor. The narcissist's inability to maintain their carefully crafted facade begins to show cracks, visible not just to the empath, but to outsiders as well. Internally, the narcissist experiences cognitive dissonance. The belief that they are superior, untouchable, and always in control clashes violently with the reality that they are losing their primary source of narcissistic supply. This creates a psychological crisis they are ill-equipped to handle. They may experience mood swings, irrational paranoia, and impulsive behaviors designed to regain attention or reassert dominance. They might stalk the empath's social media, send manipulative messages, or show up uninvited, all in a desperate attempt to reestablish control. But with each failed attempt, their emotional state deteriorates further. The narcissist also begins to feel the weight of accountability creeping closer. For years, they have operated without consequence, assuming that charm and manipulation would protect them from ever facing the emotional damage they've caused. But now, with the empath no longer playing the role of the forgiving partner, the narcissist is left alone with their actions. The internal emptiness they have spent a lifetime running from begins to surface in ways they can't suppress. Anxiety, depression, and even moments of identity confusion become more frequent as they struggle to maintain the illusion of control over both the empath and themselves. Their social mask, once flawless, starts slipping in public settings. Friends and acquaintances begin noticing changes in their behavior. Their charm becomes forced, their humor tinged with bitterness, their conversations increasingly centered around self-victimization and blame shifting. The narcissist, once the master of controlling perceptions, now finds themselves the subject of quiet suspicion and growing distance from others. Isolation begins setting in as people start to step back, recognizing the toxicity they once overlooked. The narcissist's collapse is not just emotional, but existential. They face the undeniable truth that the empath they once controlled has outgrown their manipulation, seen through the illusions, and reclaimed their power. Every failed attempt to reel the empath back only deepens their sense of helplessness and internal chaos. The narcissist, driven by fear of abandonment and exposure, now stands on unstable ground, watching the power they once held slip away with no clear way to regain it. The empath's rise after enduring narcissistic abuse is not a sudden or impulsive event. It is the result of deep internal work, reflection, and the painful but necessary process of reclaiming personal identity. After months or years of emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and psychological warfare, the empath begins to awaken to their true worth. They recognize that their sensitivity is not a weakness, but a source of strength. And so, there's no such thing as a weakness in the sensitive person. The qualities that the narcissist once exploited, kindness, understanding, patience, become tools for healing and empowerment. The first stage of this rise is emotional detachment. The empath no longer reacts to the narcissist's provocations. The words that once triggered tears or self-doubt now sound hollow and meaningless. The empath learns to separate fact from manipulation, truth from distortion, and love from loathing. And of course, we're taught that the nation that once triggered tears or self-doubt now sounds hollow. And beneath it, to the contrary, penetrate deep down, the self-obsessive, this emotional clarity allows them to view the narcissist with objectivity, no longer clouded by hope or confusion. The empath starts seeing patterns where they once saw isolated mistakes. The cycle of abuse becomes glaringly obvious, and with that recognition comes a shift in emotional energy. The empath begins setting boundaries that are firm and non-negotiable. These boundaries are not threats or emotional games. They are clear lines drawn from a place of self-respect and psychological survival. The empath understands that protecting their mental and emotional health is not selfish, it is necessary. They stop over-explaining, stop justifying their feelings, and stop accepting blame for things they did not cause. The narcissist's anger, silent treatments, and guilt tactics no longer penetrate the emotional armor the empath has built. With each boundary enforced, the empath's confidence grows. They start trusting their intuition again, that inner voice that the narcissist worked so hard to silence. The empath starts to feel grounded in their decisions, no longer second-guessing every thought or emotion. They reconnect with friends and family members they had distanced themselves from during the narcissistic relationship. They seek out resources, whether it be therapy, support groups, or self-help materials, and begin to educate themselves on narcissistic abuse recovery. Knowledge becomes power, and the more they learn, the more empowered they feel. The empath's physical energy begins to change as well. The chronic stress that once weighed them down starts to lift. Sleep improves, anxiety lessens. Moments of peace and joy begin to return. They invest in self-care, hobbies, and passions that had been neglected for far too long. The empaths start rebuilding their life on their own terms, free from the narcissist's influence. They begin to set goals that have nothing to do with the narcissist and everything to do with their personal growth and happiness. As the empath's rise continues, they become emotionally unreachable to the narcissist. Attempts to provoke emotional responses are met with indifference or calm disengagement. Manipulative messages are ignored. Hoovering attempts are seen for what they are and immediately shut down. The narcissist finds themselves locked out of the empath's emotional world, unable to re-enter no matter what tactic they use. The empath, once emotionally vulnerable to every word and action, now operates from a place of emotional sovereignty. The empath also begins to redefine their understanding of love and relationships. They recognize the red flags they missed before and commit to never tolerating such behavior again. They develop a new, healthier standard for how they will be treated in all areas of life, whether in romantic relationships, friendships, or family dynamics. They become active for their own well-being, no longer willing to shrink themselves to keep others comfortable. Their voice becomes stronger, clearer, and more assertive. This transformation does not go unnoticed. People around them begin to comment on the change. There is a new energy in the way the empath speaks, carries themselves, and makes decisions. Fully in their power, no longer emotionally accessible, no longer willing to engage in toxic cycles. The empath's rise is not about revenge or proving a point to the narcissist. It is about healing, growth, and reclaiming a sense of self that was buried under layers of emotional abuse. It is about moving forward with wisdom, emotional intelligence, and a renewed understanding of their own value. The empath steps into this new chapter of life with resilience forged in pain and wisdom gained from survival. They become an example of what happens when emotional strength is fully realized after enduring psychological oppression.
Oh, that ended. That was quite educating. Subconscious heard the rest of it. Anyway. That was interesting. Haven't got any booties, have I? But that was the check first. See if we can get this off second. paper. We'll try. Late night hours, shout out to you if you haven't gone to bed yet. Fucking, I don't need much sleep. I just don't. Weird. 5 hours. 5 or 6 hours. I did the wake up just before 3 p.m. So fuck it. If that happens, I just usually stay awake because it's a sign. So just, yeah. Fuck it. Which you now, sesh? Yep, cool. Hey, easy. I got up at like 5 minutes to 3 or some shit. Actually, this is working. Sort of. Sort of working. Not really. I shouldn't have done it so moist, and those bits of leaf that are just in there. I could wipe this off with fucking something, and then turn it into something still. Like, I don't waste these bits, I keep them all. Keep them all. You probably get oil as well, even, just, yeah. Like, I don't know, like a bit of that fucking organic cotton or some shit with like oil, and like wipe it off, and then put that cotton in a bottle with fucking oil, same oil, just like shake it up in there, leave it, It'd have to be like full-blown organic cotton, clean, but not with bleach, unbleached organic cotton, basically. From fucking Japan, because they're pretty good at that shit. And paper. They've got the paper, cotton, fucking thing down packed. It's pure as. Muji brand fucking paper, whatever it is. It's like a whole stationery brand, actually, Muji or whatever. They make some pretty good shit. Attention to detail, you know what I mean? Japanese, man. They'll sit there for half an hour making a cup of tea. Maybe longer. But I think there's another whole purpose to that too. Spiritual fucking meditation thing as well. Like pouring it and shit. Yeah. There's just a lot of fucking weird squishiness that's fucking impossible to get off. Maybe I need to freeze it like properly. It's not. I was hoping it was going to be hard. I might need to figure out what's going on with the freezer and turn it up or something, so I can actually get this frozen. So it chips better, or sticks to the fucking thing. I think I've got that on like eco setting, so it doesn't go like heaps low, because I don't like shit like really hard, Do we have a dad? Can I get like one dad? That would be good. Just get one somehow off of him. Like, look at this. That's upset. I can't get that up. Give me shit. And it's like a smeary consistency. Maybe if I leave these out, that might help. Yeah, that probably would do it, actually. Like, if I left it just out, it'd probably morph or something. Metamorphose into like a dry shit, and then freeze that. gonna probably work. I'm just smearing it. It's just like I'm painting it on the fucking paper. Seriously. But you have to get the angle of the fucking edge right. And I'm so scared I'm gonna rip the paper. It's already ripped there and there. Okay. I think we kind of just need to concentrate a bit. We can do it. I don't understand that longer, but I was hungry. I was hungry. Actually hungry. I'm starting to get that back. I must have been like really hardcore fucked, man. Well, still am kind of a bit, but that energy drink over there is a reminder that I sometimes kick. As I'm walking, it's in my walkway. And it's kind of good, because every time I kick it, it makes me kind of think about it. And I was pretty much just living on the fucking thing. DIY's coffees and vanilla slices, pretty much. And like toasted cheese sandwiches. Pretty bad. And I like had, that's why I reckon yesterday I only needed like whatever it was, 2.5 liters instead of like 3. Whatever the fuck I'm drinking. I'm like flushing heaps of shit out. If I haven't really touched sugar, like I've just had that 1-2 litre iced coffee. Like, did that happen? It just seems like it's all one day. One long day. But I have kind of forgot, like, I've tried to explain the story to someone a few days ago, and that was like 4 or 5 days into it, and it already started to blur into one. So I don't really care about even like good shit that happens like 2 days ago, because it just blurs into whatever. It's amazing at the time. Too amazing sometimes. That's why I have to move on from it. It's just unexplainable. I'm like, yep, full on blown coincidental fucking shit. And only I can figure it out for me. So, and then I've got to move on to the next day, because there'll be some kind of crazy thing there if I can prophesize on. Or signs of something to do with something, and it's tripped out when it's like that. I'm pretty sure it's not astrology. Did I do that? I'm gonna check to see if I got rid of my dates. My dates. Nobody gives a fuck anymore, but pretty much just, I'm good at fucking that up. Where is that? What am I looking for? Gone blank. Oh yeah. This. Now if you're smart, you'll be able to, like, if you're real smart, you'll be able to figure that out. But, where's that chart? Yeah, my chart right now. Like, this is off tits. Sorry, I'm sure to come back and say hello. Well, fucking what the fuck, man? Screenshot that and have a think about it. Issue. Whatever. Cook, mate. Cookery. It's back to the cookery. You know? There's so much cool shit going on there, but lots of trippy shit too. Look, you man, if I gave that to an astrologer, they'd just be go, far. You're fucked, mate. I'm like, yeah, no, it's all good. It's all G. I've been through the spiderweb shit before. It happens every now and then. And it's just too much shit to comprehend. Like it is. It is. Like I've got, I mean, I even if I tried to go into it and explain it, it's going to take me like 5 or 10 minutes just to do all those things. I'll probably just go to the app, tell it, like, the top ones, yeah, because, like, it puts it in a thing, Reggie. So it's planetary, no, it's not planetary, it's fucking astro fucking charts, right? And then I go in that, and then I go past, present, future, and then I go both. And you get yours on top of the fucking deck. So Venus sextile Venus, 98%. Mercury conjunct Venus, 87%. Pluto sextile Jupiter, 81%. Neptune trine Jupiter, 77.07%. Going down. These are all actually going down. The only one that was on its way up was Venus sextile Venus. Neptune trine Jupiter, yeah, we did that. Venus conjunct Mercury, 76.3%. Saturn trine Jupiter, 76.21. Mercury sextile Mercury, 72%. Oh, that's gone up. Oh, we have gone in different orders. Oh, it's the percentages that go first. So Venus sextile Venus is going up, and it's 98.9%. Mercury conjunct Venus with 87.29. I won't do the points. I'll just do the going down. Pluto sextile Jupiter's 81 going down. Neptune trine Jupiter 77 going down. Venus conjunct Mercury 76 going down. Saturn trine Jupiter 76 going down. Mercury sextile Mercury 72 going up. Uranus opposite Jupiter 60% going up. Like more. Jupiter conjunct Sun 49.8% going down. Look, I've just had that. It's coming in. Oh, it's nearly 420. For that Sun trine Jupiter 25 on its way up. Venus conjunct Mars 20% up, going up. Saturn trine Jupiter 19 going down. Neptune trine Moon 14 going down. Uranus opposite Moon 10% going up. Venus opposite Moon 4% going down. Mercury trine Moon 2% going up. 100. Spider's web, mate. You'd think. But anyway, you never know. Some people have done this shit for years that I've met, got expert level, and then they're just gone, you know what, and it doesn't even matter, it's all bullshit. So, yeah. Yeah, there was one dude I met at Happy Herbs one day, and he'd done heaps of shit. Like, he'd already done, like, a whole bunch of sorts of shit. And just gone, fuck it, you know what? It doesn't matter, you know, or something. I think there is a lot to it, but if you do fixate on it, then yeah, it can turn to that probably pointless shit. But I check it every now and then. I'm not obsessed with it, and then it kind of looks amazing, you know. So See, I'm just like, I couldn't even get it off. Just smeared. The consistency of this, mate, it's too like watery and shit or something. The way I did it was just not great and rushed. Normally I pick all the little bits of leaf off. I was just like, fuck it, put it in there. And we've got heaps of like, yeah, liquid and shit. But we got something together, I think. And if it's not clean, I don't care. Yeah, it's not, but I don't care because it's just like, whatever. It's just whatever. And whatever's in here is probably just gonna add to the whole thing. And we'll blast it on hottest white setting. And it would make it easy to get off too, like dirt, if it's got a bit of gunk in there already. If it's totally clean, that probably would have been harder to do. So there is that benefit of having it a little bit dirty, but probably wouldn't do that for too long because you might get it burning, maybe, especially on white. It's the highest setting, with all the highest everything, max, whatever fucking setting is called. I haven't played around with it really. Vapor production, whatever they call it. I don't know. I'm just like, why even have that? Might as well just be like your settings, your temp settings, your time. I don't even know what that thing is. Anyway, cheers. And we'll get it tomorrow. Pack them up, pack them up. Pack them up, whatever you got, pack them up. We're too bright again, aren't we? Fuck. Beaming. Later. Oh, actually, I'll wait 2 minutes to pack them up. I'm gonna be cruel. Because might as well do this while it's fucking just one scary can hit me on 420. Just go some water or some shit. That's what I'm gonna do because it's fucking empty. I need to add something maybe to like. I mean, when I fill it up, I'm thinking all sorts of things going through my head, like, oh man, back when I used to make beer or whatever, or make whatever, kombucha or fucking mate. Just even just some ginger in there, like overnight, with like, oh mate. Then I'd have to buy sugar though, because it is useful for a couple of things, like making bacteria. Fuck off, seriously, I'm about to get up. They see the opportunity. They go, you want that lap? You want that lap, don't you? I probably didn't even need to get up, because there's one here. Oh no, I put them in there. Drunk like a litre and a half of water, pretty much, already, since I've been home. Look at that machine. Look at that fucking more expensive whiz-bang, I don't know. It's like $3 grand or some shit. Is it called Kagan or something? It's kind of like Kagan, but not, that's the shop, right, that's the online shop, but I think it's similar to that. Alright, happy 420, fucking, it is 420, we've just got into it. White, boom boom. Stay 420. Fuck it, just get it in. Still heating up too. That's the good thing about white. There we go. Fuck, that was something. It's fucking turkey. And kind of not any green taste. Would have been better if I'd cleaned it, but I couldn't be. That kind of added to it. It was toasty, toasted at the end. Did that take me 2 minutes to do that? Okay. Did I just speed time up? Shout out to whoever's there. Just to whoever, I don't even care. Love the haters. Right. Love the haters. What the? That was fuck all, man. It probably was about it. I don't know. Maybe a couple of rice grains. Some people say do about a rice grain. And I saw that ages ago. I think it was, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really like cold water. I mean, it's alright. Yeah, it's like, but like, that's actually about how cold it is out. Anyway. I prefer like room temperature. I think it pretty sure absorbs better when you're drinking at that temperature too. Anyway, like cold water actually sort of shocks you a bit. I don't know if I'm right about that, but I remember seeing something about that. I'm pretty sure like I absorbed that meal better last night. Because I'm pretty sure there's a thing that someone said as well that I saw that was about drinking like a fucking sugary drink or some shit. Sugary drinks with your meal basically defeat the whole purpose of having a meal, pretty much. And I kind of know why, I think. A little bit. It's to do with parasites a little bit. That's what I'm suffering a little bit probably, you know. But yeah, because of the sugar. They just go for the sugar. And she's back. Like, can you just give me a break for this? Like, cats, man. Thinking about having them for eggs, but then it's like too early for breakfast. I don't have bread, so I kind of like want to save them, because it's going to be hard, like quitting bread. Like, who quits bread? How do you quit bread, fucking? What do you replace it with, fucking? In certain situations. I just can't see how that happens. Anyway, I really would like to get to somehow, like maybe like once a week, takeaway. And then, I don't know. I kind of feel like I do feel like I want to eat like twice a day. I can't do it. Probably can't do the once a day thing. You know? Like I feel like there needs to be at least like two fair like load ups of just whatever it is. Like Wheat Bix. I had a whole bunch of Wheat Bix. And I just slowly ate it. Like I don't know how many I fucking put in there. But yeah, Wheat Bix and milk. No sugar. No flavouring. What the fuck? Who does that? Who the fuck does that? That's insanity. So I normally put like 3 dessert spoons of fucking sugar on bloody, I don't know, like 5 wheat bix or 7 wheat bix or whatever. Maybe. But I did heaps. I just did it and I used up all the milk. I'm pretty sure. Maybe there's a bit of milk left. And I just ate as much as I could and then like put it back in the fridge. And then I brought it out and then I kind of forgot about it because I was sharpening shit. And I slowly ate it and I was like, go for a walk. But those are all pretty much, everything's pretty much done for that, yeah. That other one was fucking hard, actual hard metal. 1060, whatever that is, 1065, high carbon spring steel, or 1060, I think it's 1060, whatever it is a lot easier to sharpen than fucking that 12 chromium, whatever that is. It's a stainless. If it gets 12% or more, it's stainless, and then it's just different. It's just different. And this is interesting, this other shit. I've never had this other shit. All this shit. But this is interesting to sharpen too. It gets blunt quick, the Coburn. You know? Oz A? Whatever it's called. Yeah, Oz A 8A. Oz 8A. Like it loses its edge quick, but you can bring it back easy. Like this is easy. Easy as to sharpen. I haven't really fucking got this blunt yet. This is something else. Love some weird number, weird thing. Where's the button, mate? Press the button. Yeah. Oh, I got it. That's it. $8CR13 MOV. What in the fuck? It's 8 chromium 13%. Something else. Maybe. Is that what that means? The Kyoto 2. Now this is like off its head. Honestly. If you're not really allowed to talk about it. But anyway. Really good, handy, like nice fixed blade to open letters that you can just fit in your pocket, like when you want to go to the letterbox and open it and put it back. I can save that, can't I? It's like it's got a bit of a thing. But I don't want to button it. I don't know what to button it on. Keep other ones refreshing and stuff. You never know. I kind of want to see what it would be good for. But it just sits there and chills. Like that. It could be a neck. They call these neck knives as well. But you can buy the clip one too. This would be a good camping knife too, though, I reckon. You know, 'cause it's just small, and you can do the camp duties, pretty much. Except probably not like wood stuff. I think maybe not the battening thing, but like I don't know. Probably none of it really. There's other things that are better. That have a better edge for that. This is flat all the way, but sometimes that's good. I just got into fixed blades. Well, I think they're better, safer as well. You don't have to worry about the thing folding or the thing failing. My 2 cents, my 2 stone cents worth. 420 is 431 now. What are we gonna do? See what else we can fucking... What YouTube wants me to watch. As soon as I go into the thing, there you go, it's reloading. Well, we're gonna get a fresh fucking... I mean subs. Damn. It's not our channel. So, home. So, this is what we want. This is where I get... for good shit. Oh, that's that channel that I couldn't remember the other day. Understanding Conspiracy. They're actually live. The Nephilim looked liked clowns. With understanding. I'll check it out. Just briefly. But it's already started, so I normally don't like this. I have to watch it from the start. I haven't missed anything. I haven't really been it, so maybe I don't think so.
I want you to get together.
This is like it is at the start.
All right, joining us today is
Holy
a
fuck.
UK-based independent researcher who
Actually
covers
caught
a
it.
variety of topics. Very much a fellow after my own heart, and his specialty is a topic I have a great interest in. He is the host of the YouTube channel Understanding Conspiracy and the author of the forthcoming work, The Nephilim Looked Like Clowns. Folks, I give you guys Paul Stobbs. Thank you so much for joining us
What
today,
if
sir.
I'm one of them?
Thanks for having me. All right, in case you folks haven't guessed by now, this show is about clowns. Nasty clowns, evil clowns, tricky clowns, dirty clowns, and especially demonic clowns. This is a deep, deep dive down a most peculiar rabbit hole. We're starting with the Nephilim, and we're going to work our way up to modern-day manifestations such as the Joker and Pennywise. Why does this archetype haunt our imagination? Why in the West are we subjected to it from such a young age?
I reckon it's narcissism.
And what is driving
I reckon that's where
this?
they'll end up. I'm not even going to watch it. That's where they'll end up. That's where they'll end up. They'll end up at modern day narcissism. You know, it's in all of us somehow. And what if it was put in all of us back when they did the clones? The Cabbage Patch Kids conspiracy. Like, I'm serious, bro. What if just like 100 or 200 years ago, whenever that last reset happened, that is legit, mate. Like, it's legit. What if that, and now we're all just inbred fucking clowns? Like, the majority, pretty much. Actually, all of us, like a little bit, sort of. And the only way to fix it would be probably to destroy the entire realm again somehow. Before even the cyclical reset. Like, what if it goes like this? What if it goes, we try and do another reset, and then you know how there's a cataclysm coming, regardless, according to fucking archaics and Jay Dreamers, like, but he doesn't have a time, he just knows. But archaics goes like what? It's like what now? Like in 20 years or something? Like we're screwed, right? According to him. What if there goes, we try and do a reset the money, everyone cracks the shits, there'll be a bunch of people that just kill themselves and then die of the new cancers from all the thingamajiggies. And then, I don't know, I lost the order now. Something, yeah, God just steps in. God steps in and goes, fuck it, flood it. Flood it. Do it. I'll help build another ark. The ark. Fucking, that's what it's all about. And I look at the rainbow differently. So it's different to me. It's a serious thing. And there's some other element to it. And the other element is, I reckon God lied. He's lying. You know, it's like the covenant. Yeah, the covenant for the real. But that was a lie, because of all what they said with the truth before can now turn into changing of the mind. It's not called lying. It's called they've just changed their mind. And that's what God might do. Especially maybe just to people anyway. Like, And that might be that. That might be that. That might be the whole people that can't like deal with it. Deal with the new reset that the them, the elite, the whatever they do. That's gonna cause God to step into people's lives, and then the world's just gonna end anyway. Huh? That's the real funny thing. See? That's my understanding conspiracy show. Well done. We just finished it. Done quick. There you go. Jezza's version. Go watch it later. See how many things I just said correlate to what they said. Who fucking knows? But it's modern day narcissism. I'm pretty sure. And so if I've got it a little bit, that makes me part one of them. So I might be like a Terminator. I might be like self fucking, in the end, for my own good, for the greater good, after the mission's complete. Which might mean like transhumanism. And I'll just self-delete. Yeah, I'll self-delete. But like in like fucking 100 years, after the mission's complete, after there's pretty much no one left. I don't know who hasn't got that in them. To be honest, to be completely frank, I don't think I've met anyone that if I was God would say, yeah, no, let that person live. Maybe my mate Sean that died. Maybe me, for fuck's sakes. But I don't know. I think I've already made enough fuck-ups, and I think he did too, and I think everyone I've ever met has. So it doesn't matter. Like, we're all screwed, regardless. You can't take that shit back. Like, you just can't. So you gotta, like, turn into a fucking robot. And then somehow... that's how it has to be done. I don't know. But, like, 'cause, like, if there's a reset, if there's an actual cyclical fucking, like, we're all screwed regardless of that thing, J Dreamers and Archaics thing, in 20 years. And what the fuck, like everything between now and then is just like a game anyway, it doesn't even matter. And it's really for, like, only, like, the total, like, righteous to be able to survive it. And so, like, if you're actually alive by then it's just pure luck, But they might try and do that Pied Piper situation again. And another good reason to do it, like for them, would be so they could get all of the actual legends, the ones they want, and save us. And take us to the underground bases when the weird shit happens. And then take us to the North Pole afterwards. Or we all just go. Like, there's some element of that. And then there's other ones that want to go there now, before, or something to do with that. The J Dreamers talks about. Because it happened before. The Pied Piper situation didn't happen before. And what if that was all run by, like, evil people? But some of them weren't, and they ended up in asylums because they were like, no, fuck it, I can't do it anymore. Like, I've done it for a while, yep, you're happy, good, cool, whatever, take me to the asylum, kill me, I don't even care anymore. And like, oh fuck, we still need people to do shit, so we'll try and put these people in this asylum to see if they can be brought back out to continue the cookery of mind controlling a whole generation of fucking children, orphans, into believing that all this shit was here. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm dead set serious on that. That's no bullshit conspiracy. Well, it's conspiracy, yeah, it might be wrong, but the chances of that being wrong, highly unlikely. With what evidence has been shown. Photos of cities, San Francisco in particular, completely empty. Photos of lots of cities, pretty much completely empty. Like with dirt roads. And is an element of that being a mud flood type siege. I'm not 100% sure these mud floods are connected even to the cyclical thing. It could be, or it could be something else. You know? Like, I'm pretty sure there's been some kind of like sky battle, war, fucking whatever things before as well, involved in something of something. So was that a reset? Did we have some kind of like massive sort of nuclear war of a type with flying machines and shit? Like one of them was that. That could have been the one before the Pied Piper one, maybe, which caused, I don't know, it just seems weird. There seems there's a bunch of weird reset to sort of shit, you know? Fucking trying to nail it myself. And that Nephilim thing, like that's obviously, you know, to do with that shit with like getting on the boat or whatever in the Bible. Like where God tried to get rid of it all. And so if that, can you convert that? So this is where I'm really trying to nail it down. Like I've almost got to too far beyond expert level now because I'm doing theories on us. But like my mum, right, she's a weird one, right? There's different types. There's more loving ones and not so loving ones. And I don't get it. So the only thing that can tell me what that is at the moment is that one's a learned thing and one's a not learned thing. Somehow, probably through healing, through whatever there is out there for it. It can be fixed, but then that won't work on the other one, which is probably genetic, probably, is my theory on it. So like if it's genetic, you have to fully understand it and just hope that you can manage it, like, because, yeah, and hope that it's not so much of a percentage, like maybe like, because if it's that with me, if I'm genetic, then my mum's screwed, but maybe I'm not as screwed, like I'm still screwed. That's why I'll self-delete in the future, being a robot or whatever, because of this bullshit. But like, I'm not as bad as my mum. I've got her traits, I've got the traits. So I don't know what having the traits means. Like you learnt it? Maybe I just learnt it. Maybe I'm fine. Maybe I'm pure and it's fine. And I'm from a good bloodline and all the bloodlines are fine. But like, I haven't figured it out. Maybe they've cooked it like through learnt behaviours. I still feel like there's something going on there. So I might have cooked, they might have gone, it might be the other way. But that's where it's weird because I can really tell. Like I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be a trader. Like I was supposed to go off and be someone like my mum for the government and a cop or fucking whatever, and it's still in there, you know, all the time. Like it's not. I'm a traitor to it. I'm a traitor to this fucking what they are, which makes me kind of like, I don't know, it's like in the middle, grey Jedi kind of thing, like off somewhere else. Fucking, you only see me when the actual time comes, when the battle's needed, and the warrior will rock up. You know, the little warriors will be there. And it's not until they're gone, right? This is the hardest thing for these other ones. If it's like that to realise. what they've actually got, you know, until it's gone. And so I know that lesson pretty well. So like, if you've got something good going on, you should try and keep that going and not fall into this shit, or figure out a way how to deal with it, because there's two types. So that's my theory on it. I think there's two types of it, depending on which one you are. You know, you have to figure out how to do that. It's like a virus. That's the real virus. Actually, that's probably the nasty word. Who knows? Because you can use that as an analogy, the word virus. It's not even real. Viruses aren't real. I don't believe in them really properly like everyone else does. And I've got valid reasons for that. But, yeah, it's a mind virus. It just, you know, narcissism. So is that fully learned? Is that learnt from just like shit psychology basically taught to us? Like basically, that would be basically. Then you could go all the way back to certain writers and people that influenced certain people, that turned it into certain people, and then you end up with Barnet's totally cooking us. That was well, guess who we was related to? Freud. So, you know, once again, take your pick, each to your own, and all that sort of shit. It's like, go to uni, believe all the shit. To what? Be a hypocrite if you know the truth, so you can get a job. Like, that's insanity. That's insanity. Like, take them all to the guillotine. Like, what the fuck? You should be protesting there. You don't go to there. Like, go there if you're dumbass, right? Go there if you're a total dumbass and you just need to find the shit out because you're a dumbass, and then you just go and do the thing. Like, I don't know what job is that? Nurses, maybe? Like, there's probably chicks that aren't really that, no offense or anything, but they just go, they learn the thing, and they just go to the hospital and they do their job, and it's fine. But like, if you're clever and you're there and you're like, this is bullshit, I'm just going to pass the shit so I can go and then spread the bullshit. No, French Revolution, you motherfuckers. Like, honestly. That's what scares them so much. You go and see a psychologist or psychiatrist when you've gone past that, and they're like, oh fuck. You know? And they know. Like, it's actually really hard to be good friends with a doctor. You have to have mutual disagreements. And that's fucking insanely hard to do. Same with it, all those shitty jobs. Like, what are they? Doctors, lawyers, police. They all have to lie. There was actually a legend cop on this fucking freedom of speech fucking thing. I mean, he was actually a cop, but he talked like, you know, a legend. So, you know, I was actually got a bit choked up a bit, because I was like, holy fuck, that was actually like a good cop. Is that actually one of the good ones? Do they exist still? I didn't think they existed anymore. I thought they were all on drugs and fucking like thirsty for blood or whatever. Like, yeah, weird. Even the chicks, man, they're just like, it's like they're on this high, just wearing the uniform. And they're different now. They're just like, there's no like local community cop, like, has respect from the community, you know. I bet they will quit after like fucking 6 months or a year. They're just like, no, fuck this. The real ones would go into it and just go, holy shit, no, everyone here is a psychopath, fuck this. Like, you have to fake being a psychopath to get in, and then like, if you're actually not one, you like have to leave quickly, or they'll just figure you out anyway. Hopefully. You know, it's probably not like that in the army, I would imagine. there's probably a lot of real good people that do in that fine, but then there'd be a lot of cook shit too, and you'd have to probably really be careful saying no, like you wouldn't want to piss people off, and that. Because I've watched there was that talking about some weird shit to do with that, what stream was that? It was all about, I don't know, a bunch of weird shit. The military was always involved. Oh, that's right, the program to kill? Fucking shit, program to kill shit. Like, it's always military shit. So, like, yeah, that would be kind of sketch. Because they do pick out people to, like, fucking, that are in the army to, like, basically MK Ultra or do weird stuff to them, and they don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden now they're a fucking hired killer. And then they're the patsy sometimes as well, or some shit. It's just weird. There's lots of weird shit they're talking about. That one was kind of like half listening to. But there's a lot of fucking weird stuff out there, man. And I don't have time to watch a couple streams, like everyone does, in a day. Your mind has to actually comprehend it, and then do your own shit, do whatever that is. And then other shit builds up. You just never have time. There's no time left. The only way is to, like, give up with it. And then you can kind of, I don't know, defeat it. You don't care about the time. But you have to get to such a flow. You have to get into such a flow if you've got a routine and shit to do, to not be controlled by time. But I still think it's possible. I still think it is. Once you click onto it, like, or maybe it's just my time. Maybe it's just my time to have time. Because I'm surprised, like, with the walking and shit. Like, I don't know how far I'm going. It'd be quite interesting to know. No idea. I just go and have a smoke break, and I just go, whatever, man. It's hard not to look at the views. Yeah. It's hard not to look at it. It's hard because I want to, but I don't. I want to not look at the view. Because the longer you look at the view, the longer you lose the pattern of you walking and just everything. Especially towards the end, you have to really, really concentrate. Or if you have a break, man, like when I had that break right there, it was a bit hard to get back into my flow. So, and it gets harder each time. So it's like actually better off not stopping, really, or somehow figuring out how to do it while still moving. That's going to be an next situation, I think. Coming down. I thought about that for the first time today. I was like, well, how the fuck did they actually, like, if you're on a forced 5-hour march, like in an extreme hilly area, like you're actually chasing down the enemy, sort of sitch, you know, but it's not crazy, like, you can't run, like, because you just can't, like, you can't. That's an exercise thing. That's for like 20 minutes, 40 minutes. That's it. Not 5 hours. No one runs for. I mean, not. Well, they do. Some people are that fit, probably not in those conditions. I don't know how people do. I don't know. It's interesting. But like, you've got gear on, and you've got to sort of like move the whole unit slowly, but in unison. So it's like that. It's that pace. There's a certain pace, pretty sure, which is a real fast pace too. And sometimes you have to do it quietly, sneakingly, like, but still keeping a fairly fast pace. Like you can imagine that back in, so like, I don't know, whenever, where they're just sort of sneaking through the bush, like they're still keeping a fairly quick pace. And you're better off just doing the whole thing, like 5 hours, like non-stop, maybe. Or like 3, you can't really, that's the thing. You have to go a certain pace, or else you'll fuck everyone up. Like if you go too fast, people will fall behind, they won't be able to keep up. So you have to keep a certain pace. Not too fast, not too slow. And you can't stop, you're not allowed to stop. There's no stop breaks. I don't know. Maybe they like had dudes that fell back. Maybe it worked like that a little bit to keep the pace. The front ones would actually fall back. So they get that tiny little respite, like by actually slowing down all the way and becoming the last guy, and then you start going back to the normal pace that everyone's going. And that one dude that's at the top now gets to like slowly have a tiny bit of a break until he's right at the end and he has to catch up then. That's the only way you can do it. 100. And you can keep going at the exact same pace. Everyone can keep going at the exact same pace. How genius is that? Except when you're with like a group of real slow people and whatever, you're down at Deep Creek and you end up just like walking an hour in front of everyone when you're like 14 or whatever, or some weird mum thinks I'm going to quit weed camp. Hilarious. She had like 3 books. She had all these books, man. Fucking tripping woman. She's a trooper. And I think it's genetic. I think she's uncurable. Which then makes me uncurable. Doesn't it? A self-deleting robot in the future. Hopefully I can get to heaven. Fuck knows what that even is. Like, have I already been there? Am I from there? How do you get back? My favourite movies are shit like that, like Terminator, fucking Matrix. Anything that branches off of that sort of shit, awesome. Not into space anymore, like whatsoever. But if they did come out with something that competed with, or was some sort of a kind of a, I don't know, prequel or fucking continuation, like prequel would actually be better to all that. You know, like the Now, like they put it in Now. Yeah. It's just, yeah, I don't know. They're gonna do some crazy shit, legends. They're gonna do some crazy shit, and we're not gonna have a choice because of what I've just said. If we've got any type of narcissism in here, like, which is everyone pretty much, like 99%. That's where the 99% fake, like whatever it is, thing, whatever. I don't know. Real screwed. Real screwed. I think that's the real 1%ers are like actual full-blown pure bloods. People would talk about that, like WV7 talks about pure bloods, but he's probably not one. I mean, I talk about some cool shit too, but who knows, like, I reckon actually maybe there's going to be like some kind of fucking test or something to figure it out, and then we can just have the right healing for fucking all of it, for everyone. And everyone's just fine because we figured it all out. We know how to like manipulate the genes with the jabs and that, so you can turn whatever into a whatever. And maybe God will allow it. Last time I think that was a major issue with the Creator. But if we can get better at it, He might let it go. I reckon. I think that's the only way. We have to now learn all the. They were talking about that in that freedom thing. It was all about COVID. It was all about it. Pretty much freedom of speech, but it was mainly about COVID because that's really the main trigger for. It wasn't flat Earth. It wasn't any conspiracy. It wasn't any other epic thing. It was actually COVID that finally got people to go that right. So funny. Maybe we can use that education now and the truth of it all now. That's what it was, and then we can use that education to actually for the better. And maybe that's what it was actually kind of supposed to be about. If you think about it, if we're all co-creating this fucking universe, we outnumber them anyway, so they know that they have to do whatever we think anyway. Oh, anyway, I mean, duh. This is why people are now starting to say that certain things were like fucking hoaxes. Like, didn't Trump say the Diddy thing was a hoax? Like, how the fuck's that now in the mix? It's a total distraction from everything else. Who even cares? It probably was. I mean, who knows what's hoax and what's not? I mean, I've looked at that many hoaxes that people don't even believe or know about. So, you know, and I believe in certain hoaxes that lots of people couldn't believe. So, you know, fucking, we're just being fed a bunch of bullshit all the time. And it just leads to transhumanism in the end, with fucking us using the truth of what they fucking did to kill a bunch of people. And then we're going to start dropping like flies. Now they're going to just start dropping like more and more and more and more and more to the point we go, we need to reverse this shit. And then maybe we'll create jabs that can like reverse it or do whatever. Like literally. If we know everything about everything now, like I should be able to just go get a jab and upgrade a new set of teeth, or fucking do whatever I want, mate. Or I just put it into a fucking computer. Yep. Like gadget, mate. But upgrading yourself. What's wrong with that? People have been doing that. We've been doing that forever. All of us. With certain things we eat. Everything we eat is a conscious decision on if you want to poison yourself or fucking not. If you know. Especially if you know. If you actually know. Like, and you've watched it and you're like, oh cool, I'm still just going to drink this. Yeah, and it's probably got baby stem cells in it, but like, I'm going to drink it. Like, do you know what I mean? So, we're all cooked anyway. Fucking, we've all got all this weird shit in us, probably that we can't get out. That's the black goo, the real black goo. That one, the evil one, there's two sentient fucking black goos. There is. And what's that shit? What's his name? Keller. Whatever his name is. Fucking scientist dude. Whistleblower dude. And it was from the Falkland Islands. Funny that, there was like a war there, wasn't there? And it's off the coast of Argentina where the Nazis were. Does that all correlate? 505. Pity that's not 5 degrees. Because then I'd have that. It's 6. With a turtle. Interesting. Go Illuminati turtle. You go. You're famous. And so is whoever that is. To have time and I can't even read it. Random name. Google fucking. You go Google. Images. Now we've got 2 foxes. It looks like 2 foxes hugging. in a fucking window painted on it. Trippy shit. You get some trippy images now, and they're just randomly different all the time. Actually does pretty good. Like, maybe it's just like leave that as a fucking, basically a moving poster. Because that's kind of like what it is. And lots of my shit doesn't work properly. Actually, there's a video I wanted to watch. What to do with your phone and whatever to make your life better. I still haven't watched that one. It's in history. The outdoors guy. I'm gonna have to eat something. I'm hungry again. Weetabix. I'll save the eggs. Paranoid Americans kicking off. An unfamiliar ceiling. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Whatever. I don't even know what any of that means.
He thought it wasn't as good as the first episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, which one is probably wrong.
You got that, which is there. I want to watch this other thing. Oh, you bastard. Give me the whole lot. Yeah. 411 Outdoors, LLC.
Started having a difficult.
This guy was the knife guy. One of the knife guys. There's heaps of.
My channel's not just about being able
That's why I
to
got
protect
that.
yourself physically. It's about
It's
being
Kyoto
able
too,
to protect
'cause it's
yourself mentally. And in this video, I want to talk about two things in particular we can do with our phones that will change our life and impact us immediately. Stick around. You know, our cell phones, they have become a primary figure in our lives. And we're at the point now where we are with our phones the entire day.
But you can hear
And
that.
we suffer in more ways than one with a handful of things we're doing with our phones that we can change. And if we'll change these things, we will see an immediate result in our lives mentally and physically, I believe. I'm not being dogmatic in this video as much as I am very enthusiastic with regards to how much I believe this can change a person's life. But the first
That's the
thing
point,
I
mate.
believe we all should do with our phones is avoid getting on them first thing in the morning.
Okay.
You know, for
That's
the
hard,
longest
isn't it?
time, I would
It is.
roll over and
Fucking hard.
immediately, as soon as I was awake and at it, would grab for that phone and start checking my socials, checking to see how the YouTube channel's going, checking the Instagram, the TikTok, checking my results.
missed
That's
lots
the
of
first thing
I'm getting
I
better
would
at
do in
that.
the morning. And on top of that, I got all this noise coming at me from all of these platforms. I did this for the longest time, and I started to see a pattern.
I've
And
started
I also started to
certain
see
things
what
you
it was
just not
doing to me.
need to look at for a while. Even though you still keep getting notifications from that app or whatever. You know? You're just gonna leave it to like once a day, like or something. Yeah.
Mentally. I started having a difficult time getting my stuff done in the morning that I needed to do so I could get out of the house. I started having a difficult time with my morning devotions.
Who's that guy?
I started having a difficult time doing everything. Everything was about the phone.
Good.
Every time I turned around, I was hurrying up and getting back to the phone. When we grab that phone first thing in the morning, we're grabbing for a certain kind of dopamine versus natural dopamine. What I have started doing is I get up in the morning, I don't touch that phone. I leave that phone alone. I get up, I stretch, I go into the kitchen, I turn the coffee pot on, I'll grab a morning devotional and have a little time of prayer and study. I'll get dressed, I'll fix breakfast for everyone, and if the sun is out, I'll go outside and get me some sun and just take in real life, take in the quiet and the peace of real life versus allowing the noise to come at me first thing in the morning. You may not realize how much it has a negative impact on your mind. Delaying getting on your phone in the morning can reduce stress, it can reduce anxiety, it can create productivity, it can improve mental clarity and focus, there can be more emotional resilience, it can improve relationships. We just don't need all of the noise of this world out of the gate. Second thing I firmly believe we need to do with our phones is get off of them an hour or two before we go to bed. You will be surprised how many people struggle with this. And as a result, they suffer in their sleep because the blue light from your phone can keep you awake. Things that you see, information that you take in can create a mild amount of stress.
Yeah, I've got that
even
night shift
anxiety,
mode on or whatever. It
things
changes
going
it to
on
like
in your
orange.
head. You've got
At
messages
night.
coming at you. You've got people wanting to talk about things.
Sometimes it's
argue about
annoying.
things. These things will mess
Like
with
right
your
now,
sleep.
so
And
I
if
can't see much.
your sleep is affected, your productivity the next day is going to be affected. Yes, I know we can take the blue light off of our phone and do like the night
Yeah,
lights
it's
kind
on,
of
but
orange
I'm
on
leaving
the
it on.
phone. I get all of that, but the thing is, we're still working our minds, taking in external information.
Sunrise.
I think it's a whole lot healthier
Goes to
to
sunrise.
disconnect from that.
Let's
Maybe
go
grab
to
an actual book, have some downtime, write
7
in a
a.m.
journal,
I've got to set to
reflect
7.
on the day, maybe pray if that's what you do, and just wind down. Get yourself ready for bed so that you can lay in there with a clear mind and a clear heart and get some sleep. I've even seen that a little laid-back television at night before bed doesn't affect me as much as the
Yeah, that's what I
busyness
did last
of
time.
my phone. I like to
It was like a couple
maybe
videos
have like
and I was like too
some
naked.
hot tea or something at night, or sometimes I'll drink this stuff called You Relax. It's kava. It's delicious, and I'll wind down. That helps me sleep. And there's just all kinds of ways we can wind down, go to bed tired, and wake up strong. I
Maybe
used
get a
to sit up on
Kratom,
my phone
maybe.
to all hours of the night, watching stuff that would make me angry,
Kava, maybe.
watching stuff that would make me envious, answering people's messages, getting into conversations about this and that, watching one YouTube video after the next. And I found it very difficult to go to bed, and oftentimes it would be hard to turn off the light mentally. I like to take that time. I like to reflect, maybe journal to God for the day, and just start winding down. I'll pull out my Kindle Paperwhite or a book, and I might even turn on a laid-back television show and just come in for a landing. So into my bed, still mind, and lay there and crash. It doesn't take me long at all to fall asleep. I go to sleep so much easier. I'm sharing these things with you because they have been a blessing to my life. And I'm bringing these things to my audience because I feel like that we do ourselves a massive injustice by going to the phone first thing and staying on it too late at night. These habits in the morning and
It's like a survival
I
guide.
believe will help us to manage how much we're turning to
411
our phones
outdoors.
during the day.
LLC.
I love my phone. I use it for everything.
Whatever
But I
it
will
was.
tell you, I do get weary with it, and I do like the peace and quiet of real life a whole lot better. I miss how it was growing
Yeah.
up.
I
You know,
got
we
that
didn't
right.
have access to the technological advantages and stuff that we have now, but life was so much
I need
more
a haircut,
simple. And I
man.
think that we can fight
Properly, bro.
to maintain
And I need a fucking my ear hairs and then trim.
a good level of simplicity in our life so that we can be more
Wizard
peaceful,
hairs.
less stressed, less driven into anxiety by the things going on in this world and all the things that people have to say and all of the external information. And this is coming from a content creator. I want you to benefit from my content, but I don't want you to be a
Cool.
slave to watching one content creator
I'm
after
having a
the
Screwball
next
of AVB.
all day, because you've got your own life to live and your own
Good.
dreams to fulfill.
Lots
I
of
feel, I
lightly
believe if
vape.
you'll do these two things, you'll start to see some very positive changes
Obviously.
in your life. Have you already started doing
Cheers.
this? In what ways has it affected you for the good? Take care.
There's two legends there. Shout out to you two legends. Maybe I'm just like a magnet to narcissism. I'm the hero of it. I figured it out. I just hope maybe I'm just, like, I'm not actually doing anything wrong. I'm just re-medicating with the med that I had, you know? Because, like, honestly, I could have vaped that all to, like, real dark, and then it's practically unusable. But often I didn't. Right? That's why it's kind of that orange. There's heaps of orange, and it's not really black. Like, if there's black, it's going to be probably more down the bottom. But yeah. What a fucking stash. And they fucking, they make good joints too. Like they do out when you're out there. Or even a spliff, a tobacco. Makes it a little bit better, sort of. But I had a couple of just normal straight AVB ones, 2 or 1, I think. Yeah, 2 spliff ones, because I took 2 rolled bits of cardboard out, and then I didn't have any cardboard, and I couldn't be fucked ripping a bit off. I just did a straight AVB one with like no cardboard. Yeah. And it like was really resinous though. My fingers were like sticky, man. That's how much hair, like stuff, whatever was still in there. I was just like, what the hell? From that, yeah. What am I in there? Oh, I'm in history. Duh, I don't want to be in that. What news? Like, what's going on? Random weird shit. Israel preparing final solution for Gaza? The Jimmy Dore show?
My fear, Misty, is that I think that
Can't remember who was subbing to that, but yeah, I've got heaps of subs in here. Random shit. Mainly for the tones as well. Just like, I'll just go with that one for example. Oh, okay, cool, we'll go past it. Yeah. Crazy weather, man. Chaos in Canada today. I'm getting sick of that. Really am. Because it's just so obvious. And they keep going, what the fuck is that noise? Let that falling down. This lad's still doing cigarette reviews. Jacob fucking Jones. Raisin. Korean first. South Korean cigarette. Always rants for too long though. I kind of not need it, whatever. He's a trooper. He does some tricky shit. Yeah, and that whole thing with fucking MAGA and Trump and everything. Fucking hilarious. Anyway, I didn't get right into it. I just saw a little bit. They were talking about it, and I was just like, yeah. Like that's just crazy. That's just crazy how he's backflipped. Like, I just can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. It's like a hoax now, and then he's backflipping. I mean, how many times can we deal with that? Is that not just like a deliberate message to like actually like point it out to you? That's like unacceptable. in your own life. Maybe all these fucking things are like just to do with that, because they know the consciousness of us all and what we're all doing to each other and how we're all just acting how they kind of wanted us to do, to then figure us all out and then do more experiments to then wake you up, basically. Like, it can't be anything else. Like, if it's just all just a bunch of bullshit, it's obviously, for us, it's entertainment for us, to awaken us in some way, kind of, through severe suffering, severe mental suffering, from actually believing in this shit. You know? Because it's often like a year later, often about a year, 2, sometimes 3, for you to go, that thing wasn't even what that thing was. And it's like with nearly everything. So like, what are they doing, man? Like, figure out what it's actually really about. Like the jab cinch, that thing, right? Now it's all about, like, I think they're just going full-blown mind control. And like, only dumb cunts are falling for this shit, and the other people, the smart people, are like looking at it how it reflects to them and just upgrading more, in a way, because it relates to them in their real life, like, because they're one of the ones that they're actually trying to do the real experiments on, right? So you can figure it out more. It's like there's 2 elements to it. More MK Ultra for the fucking dumbasses, and more enlightenment for the people that don't. It's just like, oh, cool, I've just upgraded more. Cool, yeah, Trump was bullshitting. Oh, yeah, no. Like, that's only for a few people to do that. Everyone else is going to go, oh, fucking hell. You know what I mean? People are going to top off from a lot of this shit. Look, it's sad. Don't really want to say that. Hope it doesn't happen. But, mate, if you're too entrenched in fucking whatever, even things like whatever, you can't. You just can't. You can't. Because it always has a polar opposite. Always. You know? You have to stay in the middle. You have to stay in the balance and just go, oh yeah. Some things are a bit out there. The real shit, the real high up shit that I talk about. Like, yeah, I should have bought those bloody Apple goggles instead of 50 million vapes. And that was something they said, don't do, towards transhumanism. But the only way to actually know is to do it. Like, how the fuck do you defeat your enemy if you don't know the enemy? Unless your art is just that good, it's actually better than theirs and they want to learn yours. That's the only fucking way that happens. They just go, holy fuck, I haven't seen that shit before, and they bow to you and go, can I learn that? And you go, I won't kill you, yeah, this is how it's done. Do you know what I mean? Like 2, like, legends. What the fuck is this shit, mate? Oh, it's fucking Dong style. You got 2 choices there. Like, realise maybe you kind of fucked, or your style is better and you're gonna do it, and possibly not do it. Like, all this shit's about that. Everything's about that, literally. Like, bring back fucking jewelry. That's what someone said in a stream. Someone said it. I think it was a quote of someone famous, but I don't know. But yeah, society's downfall, or something was taken away when the man lost the right to jewel another man. You know? Like old school quarrels. Whatever. And you just shut the fuck up. That's what you see now. It's narcissism. Narcissism gets beat, and you say shut the fuck up. Just like, well, there's no real solution though, because you know, it's just weird. It's just weird. The only way is to, I don't know, do anything, pretty much. I just don't know. I don't know. Unless I got like drunk all the time. Like unless I was just like drunk and I'm drunk all the time. And I could probably be a bit like la la la, if I can just, but then have a more solution. I don't know. I'm not doing that though. I'm not going back to like drinking and shit. Sucks, man. Is that good on my own? Nothing. I kind of thought about maybe introducing the shrooms though. Maybe at like a low dose or microdose, or just once off maybe. But then I'd probably be ballsy. Probably do something stupid too, like sit in the bush and freeze to death nearly, kind of thing. Was thinking about it, but I can't find him, so it's like whatever. I'm not trying to find them either, but like I did see a few spots where I thought they might be, but like I'm thinking, well, even if they are, they're not going to stay there for long. Oh, I had an actual dream. Yeah, that was in a dream. Where I found more of like a pine forest somewhere. That was in a dream. Just that bit. But yeah. I don't know where that is. I want to find the natural ones, just like in natural. Whatever. But yeah, like those ones are probably not gonna, like the people are gonna find them probably, you know, before I do. I don't know, I've seen similar areas to where I've seen people look for them. And I'm like, that's weird that there's none in there. It makes no sense. You'd think they would be, but I guess it just depends on where the spores go and all that. Or even if they even exist in where I'm walking, you know? They probably don't. They might not even exist there. Or they do, but in such tiny amounts, and it probably relies on that wood rotting, like the trees and that sort of shit, which, like, I'm pretty sure it's down in those parts that you can't get to. But they should have put paths on. But yeah, there's no. It's crazy where the shit goes though. What the? And there's just, yeah, there's still a few bits I haven't done. Now it's 5 degrees. Oh cool, we might get 5, 5, 5, 5. That'd be cool. I wonder how long I'll stay here for. I don't know. Probably not long. That's weird. That says 1 and it says 2. We're back to that weird muck. It's playing, but it's not doing so well for you. Because this is shit. Is that cutting? Maybe that's not cutting. Maybe that's just for me, one. Maybe I'm the only one. Okay. See if it goes to 0. Maybe it goes to 0. That was 3 before. Yeah, they probably all cruised to bed. Because you would have been still up. The legends that came in, cheers. Yeah, might end it. Alright, peace out. Stay magical. Stay toasty.